So when Star Trek came out and people watched it, they just didn't totally get it, you know? And people, the general public, didn't adhere to it in the beginning in the 60s. But then the 70s came around and people were like, hey, this is cool. And we would watch it after school every day, and it just caught on. And so it took some time for people to catch on to Star Trek. And I feel that that's the same thing with me, that people are just kind of like catching up to me a little bit. So I had it on this notch here, that notch, and I was like, oh, that's a little bit too tight, and right now I just don't want any pressure on myself, not just in this regard, but all regards. I just don't need any pressure on me at all. Can you dig it? Can you shake with that? Shake right here. Shake with this one right here. Chakra. Alright. So this little pack, I really like it a lot. It's Mountain Smith, but it needed a modification. You see, the strap wasn't quite wide enough. I wanted more support, so I sewed a leather one onto it that's wider. As you can see, I had to get the tension just right, but I did, and it's cool now. I had to get the smooth side on the bottom too, because originally I had the rough side on the bottom, and it kept binding when I was walking like that, and it was no good, so I had to rip it and start over. But you know, we'll get it right eventually. One of the downsides for being single is that I generally have to eat leftovers, and a lot of you understand this concept. Even if you're married or have a boyfriend, girlfriend, you still sometimes have to eat leftovers, and that's not ideal. The fresher the food is, in all regards, not just cooking and or preparing, but also with picking it out of the garden, the better it is for you, you know, health-wise. But we do our best, and for right now, as of yesterday, I made a bunch of food. Here's some millet stuff, here's some lentils, and here's some soup that I made. Looks good. Now that's kale and sweet potato soup. And so I've got food ready to eat today. Wahoo! About a week ago, I was walking with my bare feet in the grass down there by the lake. And there was a lot of bees in the grass. And I stepped right on one and got stung. And for some reason, I guess I just realized that the reason that I got stung was because I was not being conscious of my environment. I wasn't watching where I was stepping. I wasn't realizing what I was doing. I was just walking along, and I stepped right on a bee. There was shitloads of bees in the grass. It was easy to see that. But I was just going about my normal thing, doing what I usually do. And if you go about not being conscious in every moment, because things are constantly changing. Constantly. Yesterday, no, it was a few days ago, my neighbor was riding his motorcycle and he hit a deer and crashed doing like 30-35 miles an hour, and he's all road rashed now. And you know, lately the deer have been like kind of crazy around here, all over, and so you've constantly got to be aware of the changes around you, not with just nature, but with people. You see, the stars and the planets are constantly changing. The weather is constantly changing. Everything. So there are some people out there that want to spend hours and hours and hours on the computers learning all of this software, and basically that's not my thing. And yesterday when I was presented with a problem with trying to learn how to do something new on my videos, I thought that, well, what I really need to do is buy this software called Adobe Premiere Pro. And oh my God, is it technical. There's so much shit on it that you wouldn't believe, and the layering, and oh Lord, that's just what I want to do. Sit and blow my mind for weeks learning how to do that. Not! So I learned how to do the same thing that I was wanting to do in a simple way that's even actually more effective. And now I don't have to do any of that. And it kind of reminds me of how back in like the 60s and 70s, they made music in a simple way, and people were real musicians, and now they rely so much on all the electronics and gadgets and computers to create the music, and they've lost so much of the real talent that's required to make good music, and so it's just not the same.
You are my friend, huh? Hey, Chakra, you are my friend, huh?
So this is the road that I like to walk on most of the time, but this also happens to be the road that my neighbor crashed on the other day. And so I'm going to let the energy of all that just settle. I'm not going to go walk down that road. Some people may call that superstition. I call it an understanding of energy. Okay, so the energy on that road right now, especially for me because I live next door to him, is too hot. It's no good. So I'm going to go down this way. So when you create some type of an energy in some type of regard, something else out in the world that's similar will come to you. And if you start recognizing these things, then you'll start to be able to understand them more. And where I'm at right now is trying to figure out, like I did a few minutes ago, how I can avoid trouble and create beneficial aspects into my life. So if you go and you walk a dog, then you'll find that the dog often wants to stop and sniff things. And what that is a clue for you to stop as well, and not just drag the dog on, and to take a breather and look around and listen and try and get the clues. And most people, they want to go out and they just want to haul ass and not take any breaks at all, whether it be walking or hiking or running, or also just going through their days. And the reason that I realize this is because I've been one of those people. It takes one to know one. And so it's just no good to constantly do that. It doesn't make any logical sense, at least in regards to health. And because we live in this world of speed and production, then good health no longer coincides with this world. And so what you have to do is completely change the way you do business. And that's what I'm doing. So just keep watching me. So check it out. I think that only cool people own VW buses. So I'm gonna go in here and see if I can meet them. Oh well, seems no one's there. See what I mean? I think this is their property. I'm gonna have to come back and introduce myself. You know, learning. The dog always tangles me. Come on. Learning to look for the signs and see cool stuff is so important. Look at this. Come on, jump. I'll bet you $1 that they're cool enough to be like, oh, we don't mind if he sits here on our little cool deck. You want to go down there and get some water? You think you need to go get some water? Okay. You think you can go right there? I don't know if you can go. Oh, that's a girl. So yeah, what a peaceful little spot to sit. Oh my gosh, it's totally nice. You just never know what you're gonna run onto when you do something different. I feel blessed today. Even though I've been going through hell. Yesterday I felt kind of downtrodden, and I was like, alright, I'll say a little prayer, so I did. And it came to me that I needed to pick one of my fortune papers, and I have them in a little cup on my kitchen table, and it said that I need to take care of myself. And then it came to me that I needed to open my One Day at a Time book, which is an Al-Anon book. And I opened it to August 16th, which is what yesterday was, and it said the same thing. That I needed to, you know, it's a good time to take care of yourself. And I believe that energy has moved on the same today, and I think that I'm in that groove for quite a while here, that I need to just go easy and take care of myself and not stress, because the mind affects everything else so much. And you know, there's no need for me to push it real good, dude, at this time. So this is the deal. This is perfect. All I need is some nice wood chairs down here. I'm constantly thinking of how to improve the situation. Here's a cool little place. Simple, sweet, neat.
You keep going around me. Hell, you got everything in there, don't you? Just every damn thing a person could need. You went around me again. Alright, come on.
See these things? They're full of caterpillars. Eventually they like break open and release shitloads of caterpillars. There's another one up there, see it? Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Oops. There's a bridge up there. Chakra likes bridges. If you watched us last fall, then you know that Chakra likes bridges. Just wants you to go on them. So I wanted to see if this little road went up to that road that the bridge goes across. Well, it doesn't seem like it. Regardless, I just like walking on a nice dirt road, you know. And the energy seemed safe and inviting, I don't know. That trip last fall kind of brought down some of my fears. People will put up signs like that no trespassing sign because they're afraid of certain people. I'm not one of those to be afraid of. Beautiful. I just love walking on a dirt road. Remember that dirt road that I walked on last year at Dancing Rabbit? Oh my God, that was a beautiful day. So fantastic. Cool, huh? Beautiful property. It's all beautiful up here. Look. It's kind of cool. So lately I've been doing some holistic consultations, and for those of you that don't know, yes, I do that and I really enjoy it because I can analyze a person, see their face on Skype, which is the way I really prefer, absolutely prefer to do consultations. I can see and hear the person and get a really good idea of exactly where they need to go and what they need to do. And I've been doing this for myself for quite a while, so I know, a lot of things. So click on my head right here, and for the next 5 seconds, you'll be able to click on my head and go right to the Holistic Consultations page. So what a contrast to the other video I made recently where I was just ranting and raving about all the shit that's wrong with the world. Well, that's how it goes. Sometimes you're in that kind of a mood. Sometimes you're in this kind of a mood. And you gotta just kind of go with the flow and try not to self-destruct when you're in the bad moods. I saw this and I just had to come over and clank it. Beautiful in its own way, huh? Now listen very carefully. That's Guns N' Roses coming from that bush. Well, that concludes my little trip and talks, and I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you're having as good a day as I am.